go. It's time for ATG Live with Pete and Nick and all the gang. Chris, Kelsey, let's go.
ATG Live. ATG Live.
Nick and Pete, they're on the beat.
ATG Live.
Kelsey's pushing buttons and flipping switches.
ATG Live.
Chris is in the back.
ATG Live.
Checking the facts.
ATG Live.
News, guests, and special features. ATG Live. The force is strong with this one. The show that gives you everything you need.
ATG Live.
If you can take it.
ATG Live.
The show you didn't know you needed. But now that you have it, you can't live without it. ATG Live. Break that ATG
Well, welcome. Happy New Year. And it's Star Wars time. It's Thursday night. It's me, Pete Fletzer, and my co-host Nick Milkey. Nick, happiest of New Year's. What's happening with that? Are you Conan O'Brien today? What's going on with that thing? Holy shit. And you're muted, so I can't hear you, unfortunately. Happy New Year. Off to a kicking start.
It would not be 2026 if I didn't mess up something as brilliantly simple as not unmuting myself in the moment. But yeah, there's a crazy, I don't know what happened. I did just change my shirt. Full disclosure for all of our friends watching at home. I don't know. We're just going with it. We're going to hit a headbang.
Yeah.
And we're in.
And hope
That's
for the
it.
best.
This is what we did.
There you go.
Yeah.
Matt says we need to change our theme song to an 80s hairband theme. Hey, don't tempt me. You know what I'm going to be doing this week now. Thank you very much.
You know how this works. Give us an idea and watch us mess with it.
Watch us do something dumb with it and go from there. So, Nick, I was going to ask you how your New Year's been so far, but this week has just been an incredible shit show. Not personally, but just around the world. So,
as the kids say,
yeah.
all the things. Yeah.
All the things, all the stuff. But
I am happy to be into a new year. 2025 for me, as a lot of our friends that are watching know, is certainly you and I know because we talk every single day.
Yeah.
2025 was a hellscape of a lot of things, a lot of loss in my family, a lot of different transitions, things like that. I am so excited for a new year. I'm not a resolutions guy. But I am a fresh start. Tomorrow's a new day kind of guy. And 2026 is that. Not only personally, Star Wars, professionally, all the things that all of us have going on, because everybody's life is a bunch of nonsense right now. So all of that saying, I've been off, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks now. I haven't had the chance to be a part of the last show that we did. So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be doing what I love to do on a Thursday night, talking Star Wars, hanging out with some of my most favorite people on earth, and just digging into it. So it's a good night. It's a good way to go.
That's cool. And we, as we are digging into a new year, we are going to take a look back tonight on at 2025 in Star Wars, and we're also going to look ahead. As you were just saying, it may not be New Year's resolutions, but it's fresh start. It's what's going on. We're going to share some of our analysis on it, what we're thinking. We're going to look back at some of the highlights of last year. And so we are glad you're going to join us for that. But before we get started, I have to tell you all about our websites and our merch sites and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into too much. As you can see on the new frame for the show, you can find our SSW Network address right below us. All of our socials are there at the SSW Network. And I do encourage you to leave us a voicemail if you're listening on the podcast version. If you're watching us tonight, if you're checking out the replay at some point, call us at 504-321-1501. That's 504-321-1501. Leave us a voicemail. We will more than likely play it. Tell us if we're doing good. Tell us if we're doing bad. Tell us whatever. We don't care. We just want to hear from people. So please take that on if you don't mind.
We're gluttons for punishment. If you leave us a message, we're probably going to play it. Now, full disclosure, if your take is stupid, we'll probably make fun of you. But if we deserve to be made fun of, we'll wholly take that as well. So we're equal opportunity here. Call in, say some things. Let's see what happens. Let's play it out.
Absolutely. Well, we do also have a question from the group asking if we have the full gang here. And of course, well, I can't say of course because it's been a little bit on and off, but we do have Chris and we have Kelsey live on the show. We got a full house tonight, and hopefully
we're
we get a full
Voltroning
house.
this nonsense.
Absolutely. And hey, we want to get as many people watching as we can. So if you're watching right now, share this, get some people here to hang out with us. We want to see what you got to say. But Kelsey, Chris, happiest of New Year's to you guys. How are you doing?
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay. Pete,
Yes.
I'm just waiting for say 10, Kit Fisto, and Mace Windu to walk through an office at some point real soon, and a different outcome.
Right. Yes. I hear what you're saying. I smell what the Rock is cooking, and I don't know. Does anybody say that anymore? I don't know. All I know is the Rock is going to be
not at all.
No, nobody says that. All right. Well, that's
No.
fine. I'm an older gentleman,
I
so
just
I'm going to
stayed
say
on
what I
the
want to say. But yes, it has been a crazy week. It is great all hanging out together and Star Wars.
Is Pete like breaking up for you guys? Is this just me?
Yes,
Right
Pete's
now.
a little,
Okay,
little
good.
on the frozen side.
Yeah.
All right. Put him in carbonite
Yeah.
for the night. That's
And a
good.
bad
Yep.
motivator.
Yep. All right.
Keep the Star Wars
Am I
fun.
back?
Keeps me
Am I
warm.
back?
Oh, there he is.
Oh.
He's back. He seems to be
Hey,
back.
welcome. Yeah.
But to
no,
ask what
I
Pete
don't
would
know.
ask, Kelsey, what's up? How are you? The
I mean,
background continues to develop. Like, we're getting better shots of the awards. We're getting the Yoshi egg. We've got all the Connery we need. Like, I'm impressed with how this is continuing to develop.
I got some Christmas presents sent to me from friends. From North Carolina. Someone sent me the Cantina band is up here.
Heck
They're
yeah.
really small.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
I got
Is that
the
a friend from
Yoshi
North Carolina that I think it is?
egg.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. Carry on.
No.
He's
No.
not. Maybe he's not in North Carolina.
Yeah. You're talking about McGee. No, it was not
Yes.
from Ryan.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
I have friends all over. Like the
Just like
Space
Andor.
friends
Just like
everywhere.
Cassian.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Fair enough. We'll
Yep.
totally take it. Outstanding. So
We lost Pete.
let's talk about this for a minute. We lost Pete for a minute. We'll give Pete a minute to sort himself out. That's fine. We've got time at the top of the show.
What does Matt mean? Never go full Connery. Always go full Connery.
Always. I'm with you. Always go full Connery.
Yeah,
But
come on, man.
You and Matt tend to have a differing of opinions on a couple of things, so that's fine. We'll
Don't
let
worry,
that
What
go.
else?
Kelsey.
What else?
He doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand.
Understand.
Dolly.
She's gonna slap.
So, if Pete didn't have a chance to say it, hit the sswnetwork.com. It is your one-stop shop for merchandise, blog posts, access to all of the different shows we do, the podcast, the YouTube links, all the things we do. We have a great Patreon program. We have a tremendous group of patron supporters that support everything we do for as little as $3 a month. You can be a part of live recordings of the Around the Galaxy podcast. We don't do those all the time. We kind of have gotten to a mode where, like, when we have a really awesome guest and somebody we want to have a longer conversation with, we do that with them. We do meetups. We do merch send outs. Like, the patrons are the ones that keep this going. We're very, very thankful for you. If you'd like to join that, you can find the information for that at the sswnetwork.com. Like I said, all the social media locations, the voicemail. Pete definitely talked about the voicemail because truly, 504-321-1501. Call that number. Tell us what you like about us. Tell us what you don't like about us. We're going to play it because we're gluttons for punishment and we need content. So call us, say the things you want to say. We're glad for that. I do want to throw some shout outs to the chat right now. We have seen Matt chiming in already from Enid already. Our good friend Jeff Qualio is in the chat. Here's the thing. College football has slowed down. There is an important game going on tonight. Ole Miss and Miami. Let's go Rebels. So Jeff had time. He's like, his podcast is on Saturday night this week. So he gets the chance to hang out with us. We're glad to see him. everybody else that's hanging out and watching us, we appreciate you. You're an important part of this show. You're a big part of how we are, who we are, what we do. So thank you for being there. Thank you for being a part of that. Tonight, we're going to get into a little bit of 2025, but we're also going to look forward to 2026. There's a lot of stuff going on in Star Wars. It's different than it used to be. We're not getting 2 and 3 shows a year. We have a movie coming up this year, which is crazy talk. We haven't had a movie since, what is that, kids? 2019. It's time. It's time for Star Wars on the big screen. And I don't mean like, yeah, we went and watched Phantom Menace. We went and watched Revenge of the Sith anniversaries, but like new Star Wars in a movie theater. Like those are big deal things that we're finally getting. Yes, Pete did have to go take a nap because apparently New Jersey internet is taking a note from Canadian internet, as we're all familiar with how that works. So he'll be back. Pete will join us in a minute. But in the meantime, we're hanging out. We're having a good time. And it's time for the toast. I think there's no other, there's no other way for us to go. We'll add this to the stage. Start it. We're just going to add it. Back it up. Okay. So it's toast time. You know how we do on this show. We have our glass. Where did it go? There we go. Skywalker Ranch. Thanks to our good friend Fanboy Cantina. Sent me this glass.
Nice.
We're dropping a figure in. There's only really one way to toast, and it's to toast to a new year. It's 2026. We're starting over. We're leaving 25 behind. We're going a little bit off path tonight. It's not a Star Wars figure. We've got the Grail Knight from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade going in this beer right here. Ooh, he actually may be a challenge to drink around because he doesn't want to sink to the bottom.
The
But
sword's still there.
the sword is still there. We're going all in because at the end of it, we are toasting to a new year. We're excited for new opportunities. But also, this Grail Knight, thanks to my friends that are here with me on the screen, represents the fact that there's a lot of shit going on in the world and in our country. And there's a classic moment in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You have chosen poorly. There are some people making some poor choices right now. And I am using my powers of the Force. I'm using the powers of us as a community. And honestly, people, us, those of y'all that are watching, hanging out with us, putting it out into the world that we are going to be that positive change, that are not going to make poor choices, but we are going to have the impact on this world despite all the horrible shit that's going on. So to everybody out there who's struggling, we're with you. To those out here who are pushing, making a difference, trying to do something different, we're here for you. We are all going to choose wisely, and we're going to hit that play button. So cheers, happy Star Wars, and happy 2026.
Sword's still intact. All right.
Sword intact.
Whew. All right.
Not in the gullet. It's been a great night. We're just getting started. We've been here for 13 minutes and 33 seconds. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Pete's going to be back with us, and we're going to dive into what was 2025 in Star Wars. And then we're going to get past that, and we're going to talk about what is 2026. What do we have on our horizon? So we will be right back with more ATG Live.
5 decades, one saga, the whole story. From author and podcaster Pete Fletzer, Who Owns the Myth, takes you on a mythic journey through fandom, storytelling, and the battle for the soul of the first great myth of the modern media age. Ryan Airy from Screen Crush says, Fletzer is the voice of a generation, a must-read for any Star Wars fan. And David Whiteley, filmmaker and broadcaster, calls it a love letter to Star Wars and its fans. Who Owns the Myth? Available now at Amazon and whoownsthemyth.com.
My goodness, I don't know what's happening with the internet here in New Jersey tonight, but that's okay. It's all right. It's it's trying to get things going, and that's all right. And the good news is it's in good hands. You've got you, Chris, Kelsey. You don't even need me, as proven by the last 12 minutes and 18 seconds or whatever it was. But we are talking Star Wars 2025 and Star Wars 2026 tonight. We are taking a look back, taking a look forward. And listen, I think we all want something to look forward to. So I'm really excited to talk about where we're going in 26. But Nick, let's start by talking a little bit about some of the key things that we saw, some of the things that happened in 2025. Let's start with Star Wars Celebration. Do you even remember Star Wars Celebration? I'm being honest. When I was trying to sort of collect all the stuff, I had forgotten that Star Wars Celebration was earlier this year in Japan.
So I do kind of in this weird in-between level is the proximity connections to it. I didn't get to go. You didn't get to go. We were home. We had life and jobs and families and things that we had to do. So Japan was not really something that factored in for us, but we had so many friends who were there and were reporting back to us. There's this thing going on. I want to throw a shout out to our friends, Brian and Holly Fry. Much love to both of you. We know there's a lot going on in y'all's lives right now. Sending much love your way. But Brian, we were texting pretty regularly while he was in Japan because as a sports fan, as a baseball guy, the baseball team that is right there near where Celebration was taking place was doing a Star Wars night. And all I wanted was some sort of Star Wars Japan baseball gear from that Star Wars night. And he went on like 2 separate occasions, walked from his hotel over to the stadium, trying to get in the team shop, wasn't able to ever make it work. But like he kept texting me updates and I'm sitting there going, holy crap, I can't believe you went out of your way to do this nice thing for me while you're in Japan enjoying this incredible, vacation and event and all that kind of stuff. So that and the Stormtrooper with the cherry blossoms on it, like that's one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars art that has happened in the last couple of years. It was such a beautiful kind of like the Kintsugi troopers that we got in Ahsoka season 1. Like I love when we do cool stuff with Stormtroopers, and for something like this to bring a cultural tie-in to Star Wars. So yes, it does feel like a million years ago, but I do have some little lingering memories of, oh yeah, that was the thing that happened.
Yeah, and I think for me, the reason it was so unmemorable was because not a hell of a lot came out of it. I think the only thing that really came out of it from a Star Wars news perspective, and I'm probably undercutting it, and I apologize for that, but I just remember that this was sort of the official announcement of when Mando and Grogu was going to come out. There was the trailer that we watched from people's iPhones that they took before they finally released the trailer not too long ago. But yeah, I didn't feel like it was, and I'm glad they focused on the culture side of things because I think that that's all they had. And Star Wars Celebration 27 in LA 2 years is going to be huge. There's going to be a ton of stuff going on, not just because it's here in the good old US of A, but it is it's 27 years. Yeah, it's 50 years of A New Hope. It's probably a month before Starfighter will hit, and on top of that, who knows what other television may be on the horizon. So I think, but again, I think it was a great event, just not terribly memorable from a hype perspective, which I think it was interesting too. I think the hype train in 25 kind of slowed down a little bit, and we'll probably talk a little bit about that as well. But there's also no denying that they've probably had the best season ever of Star Wars television in Andor season 2. And
absolutely.
Talk to me about your thoughts on Andor. I know we had the whole what was it?
We actually did recaps for that one.
Yeah, we did Road to Rebellion.
We got through it every episode from the beginning to the end. Nailed it.
Yep. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But so your thought, I mean, let me ask it to you this way.
Yeah.
Because there's no, again, without getting political, obviously it's way too reflective of the last couple of days. Sure. But let's go a step further and just kind of talk about that kind of Star Wars not focusing on Jedi, Star Wars not focusing on the Force, but focusing on the war aspect. Do you want to see more Star Wars like that? Or do you want to see more?
I would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love it. And you know this about me and Matt, this one's for you. I am nothing if not a sucker for what we would call prestige TV.
Yep.
And I don't think that necessarily, it doesn't just mean not on cable. Like it doesn't mean because it's on a streaming service. Like there's a degree of what we would call prestige TV, whether it's Game of Thrones, Sopranos, Justified, Deadwood, Andor falls into that category. my personal favorite, and everybody knows this, and this is your time to, take a shot drinking game, The West Wing. Like, this was
Yep.
the Star Wars version of The West Wing that I have always wanted. And we've
Yep.
talked about that over the years. What would a show about the Imperial Senate be? What would a show about, like, this was the political machinations of what is going on in Star Wars. This isn't about lightsabers. This isn't about the Force, although there's the elements and it's hanging out on the edges. But this is the thing that brings me, it scratches that other itch I have. Like, yes, I want swashbuckling. I want adventure. I want spaceships and battles and sword fights and all the cool stuff that 8 and 9 and 12 and 13-year-old me loved.
Right.
This gave me the other side of that coin, which is the stuff going, yeah, this feels like something I can connect to. This feels like something I relate to, because it mirrors what we are going through in our real life, in our culture. So to me, Andor season 2, chef's kiss. Like, it was one of those things right there at the top. Like, it delivered on every level, and I'm so glad we got it. I'm so glad that, personal thanks to our friends at Disney and Lucasfilm for sending it to us to get to watch it early enough that we could do some reviews and we could dig into it a little bit deeper. But it's exciting, and I love that Star Wars can do both things. I think that's ultimately the high point. We can do popcorn, big tent, movie, crazy, or skeleton crew, kids. Like, we can have both sides of this. That's what
that was kind of the second point I wanted to make there, because it wasn't the only live action show. We got the last couple episodes of Skeleton Crew at the beginning of last year, and that was completely different. And it was, everybody has said it, Goonies in space. Some podcasts even made it sort of like their theme for the show, but we get it. It was Goonies in space. But that being said, it was a totally different feel. It was literally focused on kids watching some of the Stranger Things stuff. I haven't watched the entire 5th season yet, but it kind of reminded me that's the audience that Star Wars is all about. And that's, it left a lot of lingering questions. It raised a lot of other issues, but I think the other great thing about it was you didn't need to have known much about Star Wars to be able to enjoy it. I think it allowed you to be a fan of adventure shows, and it worked.
And even if you were not a dyed-in-the-wool Star Wars fan, but you're an 80s, 90s pop culture kid, you pulled things out of it that spoke to your nostalgia. It was big on ET vibes. It was big on Goonies vibes. It was big on so many things that you're watching it going, holy crap, this feels like this thing. And so it didn't even necessarily have to be. And that's the other thing. We've talked about this more times than we can count. Windows and doors into Star Wars. What is your entry point? What is your thing? My parents, who like old Star Wars and they like Mandalorian and Grogu, or Mandalorian because Grogu's cute, they didn't watch Skeleton Crew. It didn't click for them. It didn't ping on their radar. But there's a bunch of people that are your age, my age, younger than us, that went, oh, I watched that thing and it reminded me of the Neverending Story, or it reminded me of, whatever that other thing was that spoke to them for their childhood, but they hadn't really paid attention to the sequel trilogy. And I think that's the power of Star Wars. And you can learn about similar things to that if you were to buy and order and read Who Owns the Myth, where it talks about the fact that this is a mythology that speaks to who we are, where we are at all the various stages of our life. And Skeleton Crew, honestly, is a prime example of exactly what that is.
Yeah, well, and I think, though, it's funny that you talk about entry points, because at the same time, we also saw the end of what is turning out to, I think, once they fully understand, a great entry point for Star Wars for young kids with the Young Jedi Adventures. Our last show, we had Greg Iwinski on, and who was one of the writers, and of course, a good friend of the show and an Emmy winner, and much like our own Kelsey Puckett. But you were part of the text chain. I got a text from a friend of mine who I've known for a long, long time, and actually, like, when he brought over his son when he was like a little crawling baby, I gave him a stuffed stormtrooper, and he would send me pictures. He was like, I'm loving this. But he was watching Young Jedi Adventures with him, and he's a couple of years older now, of course. And like he said, not only have they watched it, they've watched them multiple times, and he just keeps
Yeah.
watching them, and which is fantastic. And just like as you were saying before, from a doorway perspective, Jackson, my son, his entry, of course, is Clone Wars. I've said it a million times. Ours, of course, was the original trilogy. We have good friends of ours who the first time they ever saw a Star Wars movie was Phantom Menace when they were 6 years old. When in the so all those doors. It's a shame that Young Jedi Adventures is gone, not just because our good friend worked on it, but because they don't really have that entry point right now. And I don't know if they've thought about the power of that entry point.
Yeah. It's fascinating because they have that now. And it's just everybody has, it. In fact, it was in the marketing for maybe it was the marketing for Phantom Menace. Every story has a beginning, or every there was something along those lines, like this is kind of the new version of that. And I said, maybe I didn't say it to anybody, but I was writing notes thinking about the show that we were going to do tonight. Young Jedi Adventures speaks to a very specific age of Star Wars fans, and they're very young. My kids are not that young. Greg's kids are that young. Your friend who has kids that are that young.
Yep.
What I'm fascinated to see is, what is the process, and what does Lucasfilm do to shepherd this age of Star Wars fans along? But does it become a middle grade next Rebels kind of thing? Does it become like, how do we keep those fans plugged in, connected, and involved before jumping directly to, oh, here's Bad Batch, which is kind of heavy emotionally, or whatever it might be.
And as you were just, animation is obviously a great way to pull kids in, but the only animation we have coming next year, we'll get to that in a little bit, is a little on the heavier side. But we did have Visions again, which I think, again, speaking of entry points for people, there are people who are big anime fans and love those studios. Again, I don't know much about anime, but I've heard some of the studio names, and I loved, honestly, we told James told him that like this was without question my favorite of the 3 seasons, and I don't know if it's because maybe now I'm used to the format, I know what to expect, but I thought the stories just hit really well this time around, and again, opening a door for people who might not be, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but I love Studio Ghibli and all the other things that come with anime. And you look at, as I'm looking at cons to go and talk about my book and things like that, there are so many different striations. If you can hit some of those and bring them in, I think that's one of the great things for Visions.
Yeah. And I think that, one of the things we've got coming up in 2026 is the continuation of it. I think it's of the Ninth Jedi. That story getting expanded out. And that's it's the clever thing about, any studio could do this, but of course we're going to talk about Lucasfilm because that's who this is. That's what we do. We're Star Wars guys. But they put these seasons of Visions out, and they listened and they went, what is the one that really pinged? What is the one that really caught people's attention? And it was the Ninth Jedi. And they went, let's explore that further with different creatives. And it could continue to be an anime style thing. It doesn't mean we go, oh, well, Ninth Jedi is cool, let's make a Clone Wars animation style version of it, or a Rebels animation style. Like, they're following that thread, but they're going, let's mine this a little more. Let's figure out what's in here. And I love that we're fans of something that is that attentive and mindful of what gets a reaction from the fans. Let's give some more to that story.
Yeah. It's that sort of dangerous line of walking, listening to the fans too much, letting that influence you. But in this case, I think, especially because it's not necessarily following the canon, which, again, not to plug the book, but one of the things I talk about in the book is that you need to be able to tell these same myths, these same stories, and be comfortable with sort of parallel canons or even things that aren't canon but fit into that universe, and keep, because let's face it, everything in Visions, and maybe this is why I love season 3 of Visions, and I've loved a lot of the Vision stories, is they're still in that theme, in that vein. And much like I always think back to the first episode of Rebels, the first 2 episodes of Rebels, and I went into that show admittedly like, what is this, a kid with a freaking
Slingshot gun.
Yeah, this is going to be horrible. And 2 episodes in, and I was like, this is like a Star Wars movie. They nailed it. And then you look at the Star Wars Vision stuff, and it doesn't matter. It's sort of proof that the story is bigger than the medium, right? And
Right.
you can tell a great Star Wars story outside the traditional canon in styles. I mean, even the who is it? The guys who did Wallace and Gromit, the episode that they did in season 2. Just it was Star Wars. They captured that essence. So I think that's really super important. And speaking of stories with somewhat a parallel sort of way of telling them, and then we're going to take a quick break. I want to hit again real quick on Revenge of the Sith, not just the movie re-release, which was so cool to see. I have to admit, we saw it in one of those 4DX theaters. I don't recommend them, and maybe it's because I'm an old guy. But even my son was like, when we went to go see Avatar, he was like, "We're not going to that shaky theater again, are we?" I was like, "No, we're not going there." But to see that opening scene on the big screen again, and to feel the power of everything that Revenge of the Sith was on the big screen was great. But the thing that I want to key on is, and I don't have a copy of it yet, and if our friends at our publisher friends are watching, we'd love one. The reissue of the Matthew Stover book, which I think any author we've spoken to, when we ask them what their biggest influence might be from Star Wars or what their favorite Star Wars book has been, it's always Matthew Stover's book. And it's one of the rare Star Wars books, one of the rare books that I've actually read all the way through from top to bottom. And it's so good. But what's really important about it is he's got, hi, Chris.
Judging you right now.
But it is a little bit outside the story. I mean, it follows it pretty closely, but you're getting insight that may or may not still be canon. Did you read the original? I don't think you got a copy of the new one, but did you read?
I don't have the new one. In fact, I was just glancing over my shoulder trying to decide if I could reach the original one because it is just over here to my left. 100%. It's top tier. It's so good. It is, especially it's my favorite thing about the prequels is that novelization of that book. You know, the movies are great. There's kind of a sliding scale for all of us, certainly fans of a certain age with those movies. But that book, like it's peak for the prequels for me.
Yep. And this was is next year. Is it this year? No, it was we just missed it. The 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens, and that did not get a theatrical re-release. And
correct.
I'm disappointed, but probably understand it. I don't know if they wanted to just deal with all the stuff that comes with that. All right. Well, we're going to take a break because 2026 is coming up, and and this I think also speaks to the state of Star Wars, which I definitely want to talk to in the next round, because there wasn't a ton of 25 content, and the 26 content is much more tentpole, I think. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Nick, I hope you're ready to talk about what's coming up in Star Wars. So we're going to take a real quick break right here, and we'll be back with more ATG Live. And we are back. It is ATG Live. It is Thursday. It is our first show of 2026. And we're excited to be here, and we're excited that you're joining us. If you are listening on the podcast replay, thank you very much. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, tell somebody about the podcast, and call us 504-321-1501 with what you're thinking. If you're watching this live right now, tell some friends, bring them in. Have them join the conversation with us. We would love to have them here, and make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. I'm so afraid of, after I did that little with the rock is cooking thing, I'm not sure if you have to say, what is it, like slam that subscribe button and hit the bell. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe.
Yep. Paul.
Hey,
Paul,
Paul.
thanks for paying attention. Thanks for noticing. In the break, if I moved my chair just a little bit, it happened to catch the sheet, the background.
I didn't even notice.
So yeah, we're back. Yeah, we're doing double backgrounds tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, we're here. We're
Yeah,
back
this
to
is-
kind of the old school.
This
Nope.
is the
The bed sheet is
pre-recorded
not
section.
permanent. So here's the thing: 5-second sidebar, especially for Paul. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for being here. I've been kind of trying to figure out how to rework my background. Pete has this new amazing background going on with the neon and the kind of minimization. It's fabulous. So I've been trying to work on what did I want mine to look like. I didn't come up with a lot, so I started taking things down. And then all of a sudden I looked up and went, holy crap, the show's tomorrow. So I put the sheet up as a temporary thing. And during the break, I scooted my chair back, tore the curtain down. So we're back to kind of most of what, the rest is. So yes,
Thank
Pete's
you,
is
Paul.
fantastic.
I appreciate
Mine
it.
may change, mine may not. I don't know. We're week to week at this point. So
That's fine.
and I'm with you, Matt. The sheet is a little bit overrated. So we'll see what happens. But
I
we're
always
back.
think back to-
we're here.
when we had Peter, what was the dude's name who was the host of the Star Wars show? Peter,
Yes.
whatever his name was. It's horrible. We're the worst. I'm thinking Peter Tork, but he was the Monkeys, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't him. Anyway, he had the same sheet up when we talked to him. So it's the same.
Here's what's even better. Literally just discovered this. During the break, scooted my chair back. The sheet was being held up by a clothespin on the clip that's over the shelf behind me. Went to take a drink of my drink right now. I'm not making this up. That's
you
where
go.
the clothespin ejected itself. So
It's either that or an action figure, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
So, hello
Take your
at
pick.
Brick
We're
Something.
back.
Thank you for joining us. I'll stop hitting things, Chris. I'm sorry. Brick Something. Hi, all. Thank you for joining us. Really excited to see you here. Thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe so we can see you every week. But right now, we are going to be talking about what's coming up in 2026. And it's weird. It's the first time in a long time, a 90s jazz bar. Thanks, Matt. That we can say there's a Star Wars movie coming out. We've been saying that for a long time, and they've been canceled. They've been postponed. They've been delayed. But this one, there's an actual literal trailer that I saw before the Avatar movie. So it's coming. It's coming May 22nd. Nick, what's your level of excitement for Mandalorian and Grogu?
So it's pretty high, and it's not necessarily pretty high for the content.
Yeah.
It's pretty high for the communal aspect of it all.
Mhm.
Like you and I was very, very lucky. I was very, very blessed to a couple years ago, 2 years ago, when the Phantom Menace was back in the theaters. It was the week of Potathon, and I was in New Jersey. I got to hang out with you, spend some time. We got to go watch that together. And standing in the lobby, getting drinks and popcorn and all that kind of stuff, wearing a Star Wars shirt, and somebody going, "You going to see Phantom Menace?" Yeah. Like I connected with, I live in Alabama. You live in New Jersey, and a random dude in New Jersey talked to me about Star Wars because we were there for that same communal experience. We were there for that thing. You were the one that piloted the idea. I'm 100% behind it. Lucasfilm is one day going to realize you were right. Like when we do these streaming shows, they're fabulous. We love them. I can't give me all the Star Wars you can give me. But if you put them in a theater once a week for $5 or $10 plus some concessions,
Sure.
people would show up. And I'd
Yeah.
get to meet people that live where I live that also love Star Wars that went, hell yeah, I'll pay $10 to watch a Star Wars on a big screen, even if it's week to week. I'm ready for the communal experience of being in a theater, being somewhere where it's packed. Let me ask you this, and this is kind of, it is related. And you went to Avatar recently, so maybe this is
Yep.
the answer. When's the last time you were at a movie theater that was packed?
It was Avatar, and I
Yeah.
mean, look, to be honest, I don't know. Nobody talks about Avatar outside of when they're
Sure.
in theaters.
I've
And so
never watched a one. I don't plan to watch one of them. Like, that's
This
not my
was
line. That's not my thing. But
yeah. Well, that was the last time, because even before that, I think it was it was the weekend that my son and I went to go see Superman and Jurassic Park in the same day. And neither theater was packed, and for Superman or Jurassic Park. So
yeah,
that's kind of surprising. So it's just
Well-
great that hopefully people will be coming back in.
I hope so too. And I asked that because over New Year's, my kids went to the movies to see the Stranger Things finale.
Okay.
It was shown on the big screen. And
Yep.
they were like, holy crap, Dad, I've never seen a movie theater that full. And we had to wait
Right.
in line for, concessions, and there wasn't an empty seat in the whole thing. And for me, because we do live in an era where we get movies differently, we get, 45 days is usually the minimum if something new is released, whether it's Wicked or whatever. But like, I went and saw Indiana Jones, the last Indiana Jones, when it came
Yep.
out in the theater. And I'm like, this is everything I've wanted in my life, is another Indiana Jones movie. And I went to the theater and there were like 25 people there,
Yeah.
and it was empty.
Yep.
And we've transitioned so much. So I'm hoping that, and this is my whole point, I'm hoping that a Star Wars movie being in the theater, first time to watch it, is something that's going to fill movie theaters back up. And I get to be somewhere with a bunch of nerds just like me who are excited to be out on a Thursday night at 10 or 11, because it's, midnight on the East Coast. And we get to be together and watch a Star Wars for the first time since 2019.
Well, the last time I saw a Star Wars in the movie theater was with Chris Ryan's, and it was the Acolyte premiere. And
Yes, it was.
and I'm bringing you in to ask you, because one of the things that Matt said,
Pete, you're on fire with the segues tonight. I just wanna
thank you
know,
so
that was-
much.
that was a smooth
Thank you. Thank you.
transition.
He's so good at segues, we're going to get him a scooter. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, woo. Okay. Well, so
Ruined it.
Matt,
You're all welcome.
Matt was saying that the chats while waiting in the theater line are his favorite part of a new Star Wars movie. And we were outside for what, like an hour and a half, and
Something like
had
that,
some
yeah.
great conversations.
Yeah.
Of course, Brian Fennessy joined us as well. But Chris, what are you looking forward to about the Mandalorian and Grogu film?
Look, everyone is like, I can't wait for it, to get back and see, like, like you guys can't wait to see it in the theater, that sort of thing. I'm gonna be like Black Panther in the Civil War movie. I don't care. I don't give it to me. Give me. But like for me, it doesn't matter if it's in the theater or not. It just matters that I get to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'm looking forward to seeing it on the screen bigger than my TV, which is fantastic. But I'm very excited to get. I'm excited to see like the continuation of the story, and it's got to be in the theater. I just hope it's with a bunch of people who are also good Star Wars fans who will keep their mouth shut during the movie and not all the way through it. But that's where I'm at. Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait.
It's funny you say that, because that was I remember you and I were sitting next to a guy who at the Acolyte who was already picking it apart.
That dude was a walking. He was a comment section with a haircut and glasses.
He was a walking YouTube chat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. So I agree, and I think we're gonna. I hope we get that. It's funny. I'm excited to see a Star Wars movie in the theaters. I'm going to be just brutally honest. Again, much like I'll say the same thing with Rogue One, and the same thing with Solo, where I was like, it's cool. It's a Star Wars movie. I'm going to be excited to see it. And I mean, obviously everybody loves Rogue One, and I'm one of the upstanding people who says I do love Solo. Sorry to say that, Kelsey. You there, Kels?
Yeah, she needs to come on, Kelsey.
Nothing.
Open your heart. Open your heart to Alden Ehrenreich.
But again, I'm going into this honestly, transparently. Like, I'm going because it's a Star Wars movie, and I love Grogu and I love Din Djarin, and I have an expectation that's a little bit. I'm not like, I'm more excited for Starfighter, to be honest with you, because that's something I know nothing about.
Is that because you heard that Tom Cruise filmed the lightsaber fight?
Well, that I didn't even know there were going to be lightsabers in it until I saw that. But three of you, right? But so the 4 things we know are coming out next year. 4 of them are Mando and Grogu in May. We know we have Ahsoka season 2, which for a while didn't appear on the Disney schedule, but it's back on. Don't know when. I'm going to guess probably late fall, late summer, early fall.
Same time, probably. What was that? Was that July? When did we?
That was July, but I think Ahsoka's probably going to hit closer to Christmas. That's my guess. I'm going to say like early November.
I saw August, September for Ahsoka was something I had seen this week. Yeah,
I would love that. We also have Visions of the Ninth Jedi coming out, as we mentioned before, and we have the Maul series. Of those 4, of the 4 things we have coming out, I have to say that the Maul series is the thing that I'm most excited about, just because I got the tattoo, I got the picture, but not just because it's Maul, but I think there's so much storytelling potential there, and that's straight from Filoni, if I understand it correctly. So, I'm excited about. What about you guys? Of those 4, I hate to say, pick a favorite child, because I know that's gross, but which of those 4, if you could, let me put it this way, because I know we want all 4. If you got a call from Lucasfilm, they said, we'll show you any one of those 4 this afternoon, what are you picking?
Am I getting the whole season of Ahsoka?
Yes, you'll get the whole season of the series. Yep.
Ahsoka
for you.
Ahsoka season 2. I'm with you. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Like I want to see Rory McCann's Baylan Skull.
Yeah.
I want to see what continues with this story, because we have talked so much about Ahsoka not being an original character that I was connected to, that was a part of anything that I was a part of, becoming one of my favorite all-time Star Wars characters in that story. And then certainly Rebels and the connection to Rebels, Thrawn, the old EU that I was a part of and was a formative part of my childhood. Like, it's kind of like the perfect storm of new me Star Wars and old me Star Wars blending together. So if I'm picking between those things, that's the one I want.
Fair. Yeah, no, and I think, again, I don't know, maybe it's just where I'm at right now, but I don't think I've watched, other than Andor season 2, I don't think I've gone back and watched episodes. And I think, honestly, it's probably because of the fact that there's so many things I'm trying to watch. Like, I haven't even gotten to Fallout yet, and I love the first season of Fallout, but I haven't gotten through to that yet. So I think it's because there's so much stuff. But and I thought for sure with Ahsoka I was going to go back to it, but I'm sure I will before the second season hits. But so yeah, no, for me, I want to see the Maul stuff. I want to see what they do with that. There's so much about that character that I love, and I hope they promote it in a way, or at least talk about the fact that this will be showing us hopefully what happened before we saw him in Solo, right? Because this is
I would hope that this is going to be like how we get Crimson Dawn, or something. Because I mean, we do see it.
See it a little bit at the end of Clone Wars, right?
Yes, yeah. So at least like not so much how he started it, but I need to know how he was not, like he was ousted from it,
right?
Like I need to see that. So yeah.
No, it'll be I'm excited for that. Again, in the future though, we also have Starfighter, which will there's a little piece of news that Nick alluded to, which maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. The other thing, real quick, because I don't want to kill us on time, there was a recent rumor, and it's being substantiated in multiple places, that yes, this is the year that Kathleen Kennedy steps away. And honestly, I think it makes sense. I think the end of her contract is coming up. I think she has put in a fantastic career, and they're saying that Dave Filoni is going to be the creative lead at Lucasfilm, and they're saying that Lewin Brennan is going to be the business lead. I want your opinion, but I will share mine. I think that's brilliant because it keeps the creative and the business separate. Let them fight it out in a boardroom about how much money they're going to spend on something, but let Dave worry about what he wants to do, and let Lewin pull all the money in.
Yeah, this is James Gunn and Peter. What's his name?
Safran.
This is that same thing, and so far so good.
Yeah.
So if that's going to be the case, if they're finally, if she's finally pulling the trigger and retiring, before she goes, like put out one Star Wars show with just nothing but people of color and people of every
and just her name,
ethnicity
big
and
bold
sexual
letters that fill up
orientation.
the whole screen
Yeah.
every episode.
Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy, and that just call it that.
Yep.
Just call
Just call it the
that.
Kathleen Kennedy show.
Yeah.
Like that's
And
all
like-
that matters.
Like a lightsaber shaped like a middle finger. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just go all the way. Just go all the way with it.
Yes. In,
Yeah,
100%.
Star Wars, the comment section.
Green light it right now.
Well, we're going to take one last quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about some recent news that has hit. There's two quick things I want to hit. We'll have Kelsey join us for that. We're not doing the news game this week, but we will do it in the future. It's still there. It has not gone anywhere just for this week. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more ATG Live. And we are back, ATG Live, your Thursday night home for all things Star Wars. Follow us on all the stuff. Call the phone number. Go to the website. Hang out with us. We'd love to have you here every single week, every other week, which is the 2026 pattern, every other week. And we would love to have you join us. We do fun, crazy, weird stuff. And sometimes we do shows where we take deep dives like we're doing today. But before we head out, I'm going to bring in Kelsey for the last conversation. Hi, Kelsey. How
Hey
are
there.
you?
One thing you guys didn't reference in 2026, the Lucas Museum's opening in LA. So
That's right.
that's actually one of the things I'm looking most forward to, because I will for
That's
sure be there.
Yes, you'll be our feet on the street there. You're gonna have to cover it for us. And
Absolutely.
Put together a
That's
video package. Awesome. Very cool. Well, there's two quick things I want to talk about. One Nick alluded to, so I'll start with that one. There was a clip that came out today, not a video clip, but a story where they where Levy was talking about life on the set of Starfighter, which has wrapped and is definitely on its way in 27. And he mentioned that Tom Cruise came on the set. And that's interesting on its own. We could stop there. But he said he directed one of the lightsaber battles. I don't know if he
So,
directed it or he helped
first thing right off
choreograph
the
it or
top.
something. Right.
Lightsaber battle confirmed in the new Starfighter movie.
Multiple.
That's our first thing. Yeah.
Multiple lightsaber battles. So what do you guys thought? I was not expecting the word lightsaber to appear at all in Starfighter. I don't know what I was expecting. Guys, how do you feel about that and the whole and even Tom Cruise being on set? Uh-oh.
Well, I'll hit a couple of things right off the bat. One, Matt saying Starfighter is giving me Waterworld vibes. I understand that, but that's honestly because the only picture we have gotten is the picture of Ryan Gosling on that thing with the kid behind him, and they're on a water planet. Like that could literally be like the first 10 seconds of the movie. We don't know. Matt knows that. I'm not talking down to Matt. But that's all we've gotten, which is great because that means they're playing their cards close to the vest.
Yep.
They're doing what they're supposed to. We're going to get a trailer. The context of the trailer isn't going to mean anything either because like we got the Rogue One trailer and they cut crap out of that doesn't show up in the movie. That's how trailers and teasers and all the things that we see work.
Yep.
What I'm excited about for this part of this news story is, and I don't know, and maybe one of y'all can tell me, do Tom Cruise and Sean Levy have a history or a connection somewhere else down the line? I kind of tried to look and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
I don't
direct
think so.
connection.
Outside of sort of looking.
So it's interesting that he was there in the first place. Honestly, that was the first thing that pinged in my head is what is he doing there? It's not like they're, best friends and he's always in everything else he does. But if he showed up and he went, hey man, you want to run the camera? Sure. Let me take your shoes off. Like the thing that I saw was like, he ruined his pair of shoes or whatever it is. Great. And if we have a tiny little footnote somewhere down the credits and somebody stays after the credits when Starfighter rolls and it says 47th, director, Tom Cruise, fantastic. Like, I mean, good Lord, give that man something else because he doesn't have enough.
Right.
But what it also says to me is Tom Cruise either has enough respect for Sean Levy as a director, which speaks well for the Star Wars and the project and the things he's going to do, that he came there, or Tom Cruise, like a lot of other people have done in the past, Daniel Craig, Prince, the princes, the royal princes, whoever it is that showed up on the set of a Star Wars and went, holy shit, I like Star Wars, that he showed up there, like, and he could, but it would be the most athletically running Ewok we've ever.
Matt says he's going to play an Ewok. That's funny.
Anyhow, I'm taking too much time talking about this. I love that Tom Cruise shows up, and I don't know if it means ultimately anything at the end of the day for the quality or status of this movie, but like Tom Cruise is connected to Star Wars. So cool. Why not?
Yep. Chris?
I think like the biggest thing with him. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead, Kelsey. Go ahead.
Well, it just like I think Tom Cruise is like the guy that we kind of credit to getting us back into theaters like after the pandemic. So I think just the star power of him even wanting to be on set is like it speaks a lot about this movie.
Right.
100%. Yep. I buy that. Chris, thoughts?
The thing that got me most was, lightsabers. Like I wasn't expecting that like for this movie. I thought maybe this is going to be the one where we didn't see a lightsaber at all. Like I'm not upset, gimme, but I thought this was going to be that one. So it now that just adds more questions and more theories, and like who is Matt Smith and what's the other villain?
Mia
Goth. Yeah.
Like who are they? Who are they? Are they like force sensitive brother and sister, or
I'm pretty sure it's already been confirmed that Matt Smith is Mara Jade.
Oh, that makes
sense.
A lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
or does this mean that Amy? Oh crap, I'm bad with names.
Amy Adams.
Lois.
Amy Adams.
Yeah, Amy Adams. Like, is she?
Amy Adams. Amy Adams is Matt Smith, who is Mara
Jade.
There you go.
It makes so much sense. Thank you, Nick. That makes
A plus B equals C, right?
Yeah, there it is.
All right. Well, real quick, the other thing is there was a quote from Mark Hamill on he was on a Hollywood, I think it was a Hollywood Reporter roundtable with a whole bunch of other guys, and it's interesting, a whole bunch of other actors. And one of the things, the way the headline came out was that Mark Hamill says that he asked J.J. Abrams about the possibility of having Luke, Leia, and Han together on screen for one last hurrah, saying it would take us only 30 seconds to do it. And J.J. Abrams told him, well, Mark, this is no longer Luke Skywalker's story. Now, when you hear that, you think, oh, Mark Hamill gets it, and he's finally saying it. But if you watch the clip, he's kind of pissy when he says it. He's kind of, I urge you all to find the clip. He's kind of, and all the other actors around him were like, yeah, why did you guys all get together? And it just felt like Mark Hamill just keeps, the point I want to make, and I want to get your thoughts, is Mark Hamill just keeps stepping in this area, like, let it go, right? Like, so do we want Mark Hamill to just stop talking about the sequels?
Yes.
Or what? Yeah.
Yep.
Shut up. I've been saying this since last year. Dude, just shut up. Like, he started to make me not like him. I'm like, bro, I need you to turn off the faucet in your brain that has like words spill out of your mouth. Stop.
Yep.
Keep it to yourself.
Yep. Kelsey, any thoughts on it, or Nick? Go ahead.
I think at a certain point you got to take the microphone away from the older guys. It's just like, come on, like we're trying to move on.
Are you trying to say something?
Are you talking about me?
No. I meant the actors.
We're all being targeted right now. When he says take the microphone from the old guys.
All right.
Guilty as charged.
Just being really ageist right now. My bad.
No, I agree with that sentiment. Like, you've had your time, and we still love Luke. We still love you, Mark, but maybe just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the other side of that coin. I think Mark Hamill knows exactly what he's doing. He is a very smart guy. He is a brilliant actor. I think he knows exactly when to poke the bear. I think he knows exactly, like, the self-awareness he has to go do, and I know it's Jimmy Kimmel, but like when he's dressed in the stormtrooper outfit walking around men on the street, when there's another one where he's wearing the ball cap and the jacket and somebody stops and he's asking him questions. Like, I think he knows what he's doing, and I think he's just tongue-in-cheek enough to go, I don't have to take myself that seriously, that I think there's a little bit of like, let me just say this and see what happens. Like, and I think Adam Driver does some of that same stuff. I think the stuff we got from Adam Driver last year, talking about, you know, the hunt for Ben Solo and all these other things. Like, I think there's a little part of them, not even like, I'm not saying they're clickbait artists. I'm saying, I think they're just savvy enough and connected to the things they do, and they love the art they do, to go, this is fun. Let me drop this little nugget and see how people react. Like, let me chum the waters just a tiny bit. I think there's a lot of self-awareness there. I think it's intentional in a good way.
I can see that. And also, you know, speaking of intentional, you got Daisy Ridley out there. Every time they ask her about Star Wars, she keeps saying, yeah, it's happening. So, so I think the future's bright for Star Wars, and I think we have a lot to look forward to in 2026. You will hear us talking about Mando and Grogu, Ahsoka, Visions, Maul, Dark Lord, and the inevitable things that will drop along the way.
Shadow Lord,
we're excited about. Maul, Shadow Lord, not Dark Lord, right?
Shadow Lord, there you go.
Yeah. So excited about all that stuff. We will be joining you every 2 weeks on Thursday nights here on the SSW network on YouTube, and also on Friday. No, not Fridays. I'm never going to get it done. On Monday mornings or Tuesday mornings on the podcast stream. You'll get the audio version of this show. And if you are listening, join us on a Thursday night and be part of the conversation. And as Matt from Enid and Brick Something learned, say enough, we'll put it up on screen. Leave us a voicemail at 504-321-1501 with anything you want to hear. And if there's any particular guests you want to see, if there's anybody you see on social media or anybody that you'd like us to see who we can try to get, I can't guarantee anything. Kelsey can't guarantee anything, but we will do our best to try to find who you want to hear from. And that's going to do it. I think it's going to wrap us up for this week's Around the Galaxy. We're excited about 26. And Nick, may the force be with you.
Always.
Just one more round, friend, then homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams. Just one more song, friend, and then so long, friend. The nights get shorter, it seems. Just one more rhyme, friend. Yes, it's a crime, friend. But you know time, friend. Time can fly. So it's good night, friend. Good night, but not goodbye.